Hi, I'm Rob. Welcome to Math Antics. In this lesson, we're going to learn how our basic number system works, and we're going to learn about an important concept called place value. The number system that we use in math is called base 10 because it uses 10 different symbols for counting. Math could use other systems that are based on a different number, like base 2 or base 8, but I'll give you 10 guesses as to why the number 10 is such a popular choice. The 10 symbols that we use are called digits, and they look like this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. At first glance, you might think that that's only 9 digits, but remember, the 0 counts as one of the digits also. To see how our number system uses these digits to represent amounts, let's pretend that we have an apple orchard full of apple trees, and each of these trees is loaded with big, juicy red apples that we need to pick and then count for our records. We're going to use something called a number place to count. The best way to understand a number place is to imagine that it's like a small box that's only big enough to hold one digit at a time. As we count, we'll change the digit that's in the number place to match how many apples we've picked. For example, if we start with no apples at all, we put the digit 0 in the number place, because 0 means none. But then, as the apples start coming in from the orchard, we begin to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, now we've got 9 apples, but we've also got a problem. We've already run out of digits to count with. The highest digit we have is a 9, but there's a lot more apples left to count. What will we do? The solution is to use groups to help us count. If we pick just one more apple, we'll have 10, right? So let's combine those 10 apples into a single group. So, how many apples do we have? 10. But how many groups of 10 apples do we have? Just one. Does that help us with our lack of digits problem? It sure does, if we use another number place. Instead of using this new number place to count up individual apples one at a time, like we did with the first number place, we're going to use it to count apples 10 at a time. In other words, we'll use it to keep track of how many groups of 10 apples that we've picked. For example, if we've picked only one group of 10, then we'll put the digit 1 in that number place. If we pick 2 groups of 10, then we'll put the digit 2 in that number place. And if we picked 3 groups of 10, then we'll put the digit 3 in that number place, and so on. Do you see what's happening? Because the new number place is being used to count groups of 10, it's allowing us to reuse our original 10 digits. But this time, they're able to count or represent bigger amounts. Since this new number place is for counting groups of 10, we're going to name it the tens place. And we'll name our original number place the ones place, because we used it to count things one at a time. And here's the really important thing. We're not going to use the new number place instead of the old one. We're going to use it alongside of the old one, so that we have one number place for counting by ones and another number place for counting by tens. Using these two number places together lets us represent amounts that are in between the groups of 10. For example, if we've already picked 30 apples, then there'll be a 3 in the tens place because we have 3 groups of 10. But there'll be a 0 in the ones place because there are no individual apples left over. But if we've picked 32 apples, then there will be a 3 in the tens place and a 2 in the ones place to represent the 2 individual apples that are not in the groups of 10. In fact, using only our 10 digits and these 2 number places, we can count all the way from 0 up to 99. At 99, both of our number places are maxed out with the highest digits, and we won't be able to count any higher unless we get another number place. If we've picked 99 apples, and then we pick just one more, we'll have exactly 100 apples. And if we make a group from those 100 apples, we can use this new number place to count how many groups of 100 we've picked. That means that we can reuse the same 10 digits again in this new number place to count how many groups of 100 we have. And you guessed it, it's called the hundreds place, because we use it to count groups of 100. Are you starting to see how our base 10 number system works? It uses different number places to represent the different size groups that we use to count. And the digits in those number places tell us how many of each group we have. The digit in the ones place tells us how many ones we have. The digit in the tens place tells us how many groups of 10 we have. And the digit in the hundreds place tells us how many groups of 100 we have.